Kyle right now with the biggest lead he's had since they made those pit stops a moment ago. He's about 15 car lengths ahead of Bobby Labonte, but he's got a lot of traffic directly ahead of him as the laps wind down. 7 to go. They move in on some of that lap traffic down in turn number 1. The next car Kyle will catch will be Joe Nemechek.
Nemechek works the inside line with Jeff Gordon right alongside to the outside, so Kyle's going to have to do something here. Meanwhile, the second and third place battle again closes in. Bobby Labonte, Ted Musgrave. Musgrave takes a little bit higher line in turn 3, looks to the outside, but nothing's there.
Everybody holding their positions. Lap 494 of 500 going up on the board. Just 6 miles to settle it here. Back to turn number 1, the leaders go.
Kyle looks down to the inside of the Jeff Gordon car. Gordon will give him plenty of racing room. Kyle pulls up alongside Gordon's Chevrolet. He'll flash by that car and now set his sights on the Joe Nemechek machine. Here comes Bobby Labonte and Ted Musgrave. They now approach Gordon.
And Kyle Petty still very calm, very cool in that race car. He's worked the lap traffic like you're supposed to. He hasn't forced the issue with anybody. The hot battle is going to be back there for second place. Again, Bobby Labonte's got his hands full with Ted Musgrave. As the laps wind down, they head for 2.
Jeff Gordon slides over, gives him plenty of racing room. Here comes Bobby Labonte opening up the inside lane. Musgrave will follow through. They'll go by him. They'll bypass Mark Martin yet again and close in on more traffic in turn 4.
All the while atop the NASCAR Winston Cup standings, Dale Earnhardt, the point leader, still running in 5th here this afternoon. He's done himself proud on a busy afternoon of racing. 4 laps to go for the leaders.
Kyle Petty takes it up into turn number 1. He'll fall in behind a long line of single file cars that are not on the lead lap. Kyle begins to decide which way he'll go. As he looks back, though, again, he starts to see Bobby Labonte closing the gap.
Bobby trying to pull away from Ted Musgrave to take a little heat off him to hang on to second place and at the same time have a chance to reel in Kyle Petty and maybe go for the win. The interval between the two as they go across the line with 3 laps to go this time, about 2.5 car lengths as they work over to turn 2.
All 3 cars drop down to the inside lane, not gaining a lot on those lapped cars, first of which would be Joe Nemechek. Nemechek himself trying to make a move on Jimmy Hensley's car. They'll go double wide just ahead of the race leader.
Here they come back off the corner towards the start-finish line. It'll be 2 laps to go for the race leaders as they come back to the stripe. Kyle Petty, he'll work to the inside of Jimmy Hensley, driving Darrell Waltrip's car, but Bobby Labonte is closing in.
Labonte makes the move to the inside of Hensley. Here comes Ted Musgrave. He goes underneath the Western Auto Chevrolet. Off turn number 2, it's Kyle Petty by a car length over Bobby Labonte. 3 car lengths back to Musgrave in turn 3.
And they're coming down to get the white flag this time. Kyle Petty holding it to the bottom of the racetrack, watching the lap traffic directly ahead. Bobby Labonte closes in. He is just a couple of feet back of Kyle Petty. He's going to try it on the outside at the start-finish line. He pulls up alongside, gets a fender there, and that's about all he can do as they work over to turn 2.
Labonte tries to make the ultimate test, see if it'll stick in the outside lane. He's still there, trying to get even with Kyle Petty. He'll get a fender alongside. Now he pulls even with Petty. Petty's stronger down low. He'll hold him off in turn 3.
Kyle Petty works the low side of the racetrack, holding off all challengers. Kyle Petty will break a 2-year winless streak. He wins the Miller 500. It is a photo finish between Musgrave and Bobby Labonte for the 2nd spot, and Dale Earnhardt atop the NASCAR points will come home in 5th spot after a long afternoon of racing. Let's go to pit road.
We're with Barry Johnson. Barry, buddy, it was a good run. Congratulations. That's for Trey. That's for Trey and Thea. God bless Kyle. He did a great job. It's not for my birthday, it's for my children, and I'm sure that's where he's going to dedicate it. Boss man, you should have been here. We won you some money.
That's Barry Dotson.